I literally just finished recording this video, and then I looked at it just to make sure everything was positioned correctly, and the way that my hair was made it look like I was naked. And now my coffee's cold. Ugh. Hi everyone, it's that time of month again. We are doing our August reading recap. I read 4 books this month. I'm going to talk about each of them, give them each a ranking, give you my star rating for all of them. Then we're going to talk a little bit about what I'm planning to read next month. Before I get into that, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone. As of recording this, we have 22 subscribers here. What a beautiful, beautiful number. My goal when starting this is I want to get past 15 subscribers. Because the last time I did YouTube, I did it for 2 years, and I only got about 15 subscribers, maybe 16 or 17, depending on when I was like actively recording. But we did it. We did it in, what, 3 months? Just wanted to let you guys know I'm incredibly grateful for you, and I am always interested in what type of content you want to see. If you go to my page, my profile, and then you go to the post tab, I pretty much once a month near the end will post a little poll about what you want to see. If you have an opinion, if you want more crochet content, if you want more writing content, if you want more book content, go vote over there and let me know, because I usually have 2 or 3 ideas for any given video, and if one of them is more popular, I will do them, because, you know, it's all stuff I want to do anyway, so I'll shift it around if people want to see it. I also, in my last video, I said that whenever we get to 25, I will give myself a haircut, because I think it'll be funny. So, if you also think that'll be funny, and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come and hang out with us. We have fun here. Without any further ado, let's get into the books. At number 4, my least favorite book of the month is this one. The Meaning of a Library, Cultural History, has like a dozen contributors, but it was edited by Alice Crawford. I didn't give this book a rating because it is so scholarly and I feel like so specific, like it is really good for its audience. And I thought I was its audience, but I guess I'm not. It was not very, like, user-friendly. The library in fiction, it talks about the Epic of Gilgamesh and 1001 Arabian Nights. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not know very many people who have read the Epic of Gilgamesh. Enough to, like, understand a scholarly look at how both function as a library. Maybe I'm an asshole, but that felt a little weird to me. Unless you are a history major, unless you love that sort of thing, and unless you're really determined to learn about libraries, I wouldn't recommend this book, because I'm in this field and I found it incredibly boring. It felt like reading a textbook, and I don't want to be reading a textbook in my spare time. I think if you're interested in the history of libraries, I would recommend that you actually read the history of bookstores, because the history of libraries is really elitist, because it hasn't been until the last couple of centuries, maybe not even then, I don't remember the exact date, that libraries have been basically institutions for the rich and for like scholarly folks. They haven't had that role of being public institutions until quite recently speaking. And that personally is what I find interesting about libraries. I don't really care about all the rich white men that donated books, and that's a lot of what the history of libraries is. It's like, oh, Thomas Jefferson started the Library of Congress. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. That's not the most exciting thing that Thomas Jefferson did. If you're interested in this topic, I would recommend reading A History of a Bookshop first, because I think that is just a lot more interesting. There's always like fun bookshop owners. Those are just a lot more palatable, in my opinion. So yeah, I didn't rate this one. I don't feel like my input is needed for it, and I don't want to like tank its rating for the people who actually are the target audience of this book, so I'm just leaving it alone. So number 3 on the list is Anniebot by Sierra Greer. The best way I can explain this book to you is it is an incel's wet dream from the perspective of a woman. It's a dystopian, but like a really, really light dystopia. It's near future. Really, the only like sci-fi technology is that there's AI. They are robots that can basically do menial tasks and chores. They're designed to look like humans. And some owners can decide eventually that they can make their robots sentient. So they slowly become more human as they learn and grow and experience the world, basically. The main character, Annie, is basically designed to be the perfect girlfriend of this guy, Doug, but as she grows more human, their relationship starts to kind of splinter because Doug is a piece of shit and he doesn't actually want a partner. He just kind of wants a sex doll. It was either 3 or 4 stars. I think it was 3. The first half of the book, I loved it. It was so good. It was so creepy. Just the whole commentary about how, like, because she was literally owned by Doug, she had no autonomy. Yep, that's the patriarchy. Like, it was a really good metaphor for how the patriarchy controls women. Like, yes, Annie is a robot and the rules are different for her than a normal woman, but are they really? But then kind of after the 50% mark, it started turning into a love story. And so the focus was less on kind of the power dynamics between the two of them, but the two of them trying to fix their relationship. I don't typically think that dystopia should have a happy ending. I was really expecting it to end horribly. In fact, I think I would have really, really liked it if it had had an ending similar to Tender is the Flesh. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Like, it's good, but I think it had a lot of potential and the author couldn't quite deliver. So number 2 is, let me just make sure, The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This one is about an awkward teenage boy who goes on an adventure with a cat in like a Wonderland, Narnia type situation to save books from neglectful owners. If you're a bookworm, if you love books, very much recommend. It was very fun, it was very light and sweet. It's Japanese magical realism, that's what the name of that genre is. I love this genre, especially like Japanese magical realism, as opposed to, you know, like Western canon magical realism. I don't know what it is, it's just the writing style is so kind of matter-of-fact, mixed with these very weird things that happen. I love it, I eat it up. This is one I would recommend. This one's very fun. It has chapters too, which a lot of them don't have chapters, but this book did inspire me to show you guys my favorite book. It's The Cricket in Times Square by George Selden. You'll notice that this was actually my mom's copy of this book that she read to me when I was younger. This is one of the books that I read again and again and really got me into reading. And one of these days I am gonna rebind it, but I haven't yet. You can tell that it's been loved because it was read so many times that it fell apart. And I still have it, despite that. I think I gave this 4 stars. It was very fun and good, but it didn't really like make me think, or I didn't have any big understanding when I was reading it. I didn't like see God, but it was still very good and very fun. So, very lighthearted. Just a little snack, It was like the popcorn equivalent of a book. So at number 1, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. So I've said before on this channel, I love V.E. Schwab. She is one of my favorite authors. This is not one of my favorite books by her. It is probably kind of middle tier of the things I've read by her, but it is still very good. The plot is kind of weak. It's nothing special, but the characters are really good and really interesting, and the vampire lore in it is so cool. The plot of it is pretty simple. It's just 3 different women who got turned into vampires. They're all lesbians. They're all kind of connected by love and sex. Eventually, like, meeting at the end. It's such an interesting and original take on the lore, and I really hope more people read it just for that, because I want some of this to get, like, worked into kind of the general canon of vampires. I mean, no one reads Twilight for the vampire lore, but a lot of people, like, kind of know a little bit about it, you know? Like, everyone knows the vampires sparkle in the sunlight. I hope that, like, a lot of the concepts from this get worked into kind of the general known canon. My major complaint with this book is that there are the 3 characters, they each have their own section. They could have been organized much better. Because what happens is, for the first, 300 pages of the book, we have pretty equal sections between Maria and Alice. And then Maria's sections stop, and we get, a 90-page section from Charlotte, 3 pages from Alice, 60 pages from Charlotte, 3 pages from Alice, another 60 pages from Charlotte, and then Alice's section picks up again and she finishes out the book. I think this book would have been so much more powerful if Charlotte, Maria, and Alice's sections had been organized so that you get kind of equal, or not equal, but decent-sized chunks of them throughout the entire book, instead of having Maria leave off for Charlotte. I think we could have gone Charlotte at the beginning throughout the rest of the book, and she could have organized it in a way so we figure out exactly who her love interest in that section is right when we need to. And the reason I say that is because I've seen her do it with Vicious. She absolutely can plan that out so that we can learn about these characters throughout the entire book, and we only know what we need to know when we need to know it. And it is so disappointing to me that she didn't do that. It's still an incredible book. It's still very good, and it made me cry a couple times. If you've read this book and you want to know more details about my thoughts, I made a whole vlog about it. It's the vlog's 30 minutes long. It was a lot of fun to do. Go watch that. Even if you haven't read this book but you're curious about it and you don't mind spoilers, you can also go and watch that and see what I think about it, and maybe it'll encourage you to read the book. But yeah, I think I gave this one 4 stars. So, thinking about what I am gonna read for the month of September, it can really vary from here on out, because most of the books that I'm planning on reading, I'm on hold for on Libby, so it really just depends on whenever I get those books. Right now, my plan is I'm gonna read this book, Romanticism and Gender by Anne Meller. This is in my research area. I'm just really gonna skim it to just get a sense of what's in there. And then Frida Kahlo's diary. This one should be pretty short because it has the actual diary scanned in, and then it has translation. Yeah, that shouldn't take me very long because, I can't read half the book. I have an audiobook right now for Little Women. Hopefully I finish that this month. I'm enjoying it so far. It's nice. And then I also want to try and read Intisar Kanani's book, Thorn. I'm excited for that one for a while. But yeah, those are my 4 books. We'll see if that's what I actually end up reading. I typically read a little bit less near the end of the year. I may combine some of these months into one video. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you want to see more of on my channel. Let me know if you're looking forward to 25 subscribers when I cut my hair off. And thank you for watching this video. I know these aren't my most popular videos, but I do really enjoy making them, and I appreciate everyone who watches them. Yeah, you can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on Fable. It's both Strawbizzy there. It will be linked in the description. I also have an Etsy shop if you guys want to go check that out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Send you off with a little sip of coffee. Bye everyone!